This is Vertical Football Podcast, and this is our analysis of the game PSG versus Arsenal, the biggest match in Europe this season. I'm with Shego today to analyze it. Shego, how are you doing?
Great to be here.
It's awesome match, right?
Very, very exciting game. I think from the tactical aspect, there are a lot of things we saw in the game.
A lot of things. So let's just quickly dive into this. Tell me what you see in the match. Let us discuss about what we saw in the match against PSG, Arsenal PSG.
Yes, so I think it was more of both coaches trying to make life difficult for each other.
Yes, sir.
I think obviously we know in the Champions League final anything is possible.
Yeah.
I think when you look at even Arsenal first goal, it shows you that anything can happen. It was a shock to the whole world. But I think the tactical approach for both coaches was, in what way am I good? In what way can I hurt my opposition?
Yeah.
Also, the other manager will be like, in what way am I weak? In what way am I also strong? In what way can I hurt the opposition? So, for example, Arsenal's decision to go in a 4-2-4 in the first half, passive, but zonal, to make sure that PSG doesn't have the easy way to build up. I think that's the same tactics that Pep Guardiola used against Arsenal,
yeah,
right? It was in the Carabao Cup final, yeah. So, and we saw that for at least for the first 35 minutes, there was difficulty for PSG to actually build up from the back. Also, when you look at the pressing structure also of Arsenal in that moment, also sometimes it was not just a 4-2-4, sometimes it was a 2-2-2-4 in terms of the likes of Trossard and Saka also monitoring the movement of the wingers, that's Kvaratskhelia or Dembélé, and also knowing when to drop deep and make sure that they can cut the passing lanes to the player. So I think those were the things we saw in the first half. Difficulty for PSG, but after the 35 minutes, PSG, they got the rhythm. Arsenal was a little bit more open for PSG to pass through. But I think the agenda of Arsenal will be that they know that one of the weaknesses of the PSG side, even though there are not many weaknesses of a PSG side, is defensive transition. Yeah. And I think PSG also prepared well for that.
Exactly.
Because when you look at PSG and you look at the off-the-ball structure, you see that it was like Vitinha in the center with three bodyguards, right? Three bodyguards. So you see Mendes, you see Pacho, you see Marquinhos, that three forming that base of diamond where everything has this pair to protect for defensive transitions. Why Vitinha can do the on the ball. And so a lot of things we learned really it's a very, very tactical game. That's what we learned in the first half. The second half, maybe you can.
No. Now I'm enjoying the fact that the second half I saw us not doing the 3-3-4 in their present structure. I was shocked because I thought the present structure was fine in the first time, but I believe that different personnel and different understanding of the game throughout the match, and Arsenal wanted the game more. And I love the fact that Arteta knows what he was doing. He knows what the strength of his team, and the strength of his team is that they are solid defensively, and also he knows that they have Havertz that can easily run through and really do some magic moments. But the moment they introduce Gyökeres, we all noticed that this is going to be direct. So and Gyökeres really tried his best, because at one point it was all ball going to Gyökeres, and PSG also understand that they really counter the same thing also. I also noticed that Arteta could have done something earlier, but both managers are passive in their own doing. What they're trying to do is to see what they can exploit. But the moment Arteta noticed that, after the goal, Arteta noticed that, okay, let's come full out and do some things. And at that point, when they came out, their possession was 50-47. And towards the end of the first half, we are seeing 50-50. So I noticed that too. And I also understand the fact whereby Arteta introduced, what's his name, Timber, to the game. It was so much fun to see that there is a lot to even discuss. Even the way PSG structured the second half was quite different, because at one point they also went direct and trying to do quick transition.
Yeah, so that's what I said. As you said, so it's different distance. So for example, PSG was not all possession based, even though you can say they had the ball for most part, but sometimes also they had the ball, but they couldn't bite as much as what the PSG side would do because of the structure of Arsenal. Also, as we said, sometimes it was transitional in terms of the likes of Kvaratskhelia, the likes of Bakola, the likes of Doué, eating on the transition. Also, Arsenal, I think Arsenal had like 3 different setups in this final.
Yes.
And that's to show that the managers' brain were all thinking. First half, it was load block, they did have possession. Second half, as you said, when Ngokores came in, it was play to guide to Ngokores. When the likes of Saka, which I believe had a very poor game in this final, and the likes of Saka and Trossard, he wanted maybe more energy, more sharpness in the half spaces. So he decided to also, okay, let me put in Martinelli and Madueke. Maybe it didn't really work. Then the extra time, he went, okay, let me go, as you said, 4-3-3. No, 4-3-3 was in the second half. But in the extra time, it went 4-4-2. 4-4-2, yeah. Using Gokores and Easy, and having, beginnings will be Mendy. So I think it was just amazing. But
in fact, even Luis Enrique also used 3 styles, because I was shocked to see Luis Enrique, because the last Champions League, when you reference it, it was comfortable. But this one, Luis Enrique
tactical masterclass of the last Champions League final.
Now, I think this Champions League final showed us that it's all about the manager, not the player per se in this match, because you will notice that the manager are looking for the edge. At one point, Luis Enrique is shouting foul, going to the ref. They are trying to get into each other psychologically to give their team best of the best.
Yeah, I agree with you, because when you look at both teams, I think both teams are more of the structure above individuals. Yes, obviously there are special individuals in both teams, right? But I think it more is about the structure, and that's why you can see that there was more rotations in terms of structures and approaches. And I think it's always a beauty. I think it's one of the most competitive Champions League finals we've watched in recent years. For example, off of the last Champions League final against Inter Milan, obviously that was a very, very useless final, because the tactical game plan of the Inter Milan manager was wrong. I think it was very, very good, really. And even though I know that, yes, there are certain mistakes, for example, likes of Mosquera and Saka, when they were on the yellow card, I felt that obviously it was clear that you should have brought in Timber there. They were both on a yellow card, and Saka's pressing wasn't really as sharp off the ball. So before that goal, so I think there are a lot of things you look at and say if they had done this, but ultimately it was a penalty shootout, and it's any man's game, really.
Let's just talk about the next thing. So, what is the way for Arsenal and what next for Arsenal?
Yeah, so I think for me, it was a very, very good season for Arsenal. I think forget whatever people are going to say. I think this, for me, when I analyzed it, and I like 2 finals, Carabao Cup and Champions League final.
That is amazing.
You win the Premier League. You left the FA Cup at quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Right? Which a quarterfinal game that I felt we should have won against Southampton. But the fact is, that's a good season. Those are the kind of seasons we usually have on a normal basis. We didn't even have that on a normal basis with Alex Ferguson, but that is at the top level of world football, really. And I think the boardroom, the manager, when they are doing the end of season review, they want to look at the board and say, the Champions League the Premier League is here. The Carabao was not here, the FA Cup was not here, the Champions League was not here, but we went towards the later stages of both of them. We entered 2 finals. I think they want to say it's a right step in the right direction. So it's just about, now, this is the level we are. We've shown that we can, in a full season, we can compete on 4 fronts, right? So how do we improve our squad to not just compete next season, but actually maybe win 1 more trophy to the Premier League? To win the Premier League as a basis and then go for 1 more trophy. I think for me, it's really, really solid, really. This is a solid season.
I've been analyzing Arsenal throughout this season, and I'm telling you, what everybody saw today maybe is the Arsenal of low block, mid block, low to mid block. But when you look at throughout the season, I think the most complete team in the world played together today. We can see Arsenal coming out today doing their thing, and PSG also doing their thing. But if Arsenal sum up their whole season right now, when you sum up all their season, they are going to come back and say, with everything that we have faced this season, we can stand up tall and say, we did the things that most teams
would dream of. I think this for me, because when you look at it, these are the kind of seasons that you want to have as a club. You cannot win every single thing. I think I was talking to you earlier before. Alex Ferguson did 25 years at Manchester United, right? 25 years at Manchester United, 25 or 27 years.
26 years.
26 years at Manchester United. He won 2 Champions League. Champions League. Pep Guardiola did 10 years at Man City, one Champions.
One Champions. And
Champions League you're not a Real Madrid that wins every single time. So it's not. I know. Yes, Enrique has won 2 in 2 years, and that is special, right? PSG is not. PSG in today's football is the best footballing side in the world.
Exactly, right? Best run football side in the world right now.
Best even on the pitch.
On the pitch, yeah.
Best footballing side in the world. They are amazing to watch. Really. And when you look at it, you be like, wow. When an Arsenal team can push that same PSG side, whether you want to say to extra penalty
shootout,
I think it's a very good one. When the likes of Vitia, their legs, tired, cramps and all things. So I think it's amazing. I think you just have to just, as you said, what's the way forward is just about analyze it objectively. It has been a successful season.
It was. I think it was a successful season.
And I think it's now about they have to improve their squad.
Yeah.
I think, and if I was to say this, I think Saka fantastic player, but something needs to happen to Saka really, because he's not at the level he used to be. Odegaard is also not at the level he used to be. I think they need to get better in that position. Forward line really. Attacking midfield forward line. They have to do better.
I think Gogoens also need a top competitor, since that we have won the Premier League. In fact, all roles. I think Madueke, Saka are having it in the same level. They need somebody to be the catalyst.
The Madueke, them are not people that are going to push
they need the catalyst there to just push them to the next level. And I think their midfield also need to reinforce. I know the board will have been taken with their new sporting director. We have been taken with Arteta. Everyone to take them to the next level. They
have to improve really.
And there's something I'm going to say officially is that people need to watch out for Arsenal, because they have tasted success. And the moment people taste success, to stop doing hard work will be very, very difficult.
Yeah, that's just it. I think it's for me. It's a very good season. It's a very, very good season. Anybody that says otherwise is not being honest. I think it's a very, very good season. 2 finals. We won the Champions League and quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Fantastic season, really.
Final thoughts.
So that's it's very, very good season. That's my final thought. Very good season. I think a very, very good season. I think every club, Chelsea would love to have that season.
Yeah, all clubs.
Man United would love to have that season.
Maybe Liverpool
also would love to have that.
Yes, exactly.
So when you get to the final of the Champions League in the same year you won the Premier League, I think that's the highest of world football. That's the highest of world football, really. Premier League is the most difficult league in the world. To win it and to get to the Champions League final. Come on.
I know that's amazing.
It's amazing.
So, Chego, most of the time, I just want to put it in, because when you look at clubs in the world right now doing big things, there is a process. Look at the process at which 6 years. And in that 6 years, only few clubs can boast of even the Premier League in that 6 years. Yeah. Look at even PSG. The project started also, and the project was to win the Champions League. Now they are boasting of 2 Champions League.
Yeah.
Now, what are you going to tell the top flight teams like Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea? What are you going to tell them about the way, now that everybody is shoveling? What are you going to tell them about the way, the fans especially, the way process is being done?
No, I think the fans also are not blind. I think they can see what is happening. I think if you look at this season and think this season is a combination of us, or this season was when Arsenal project started showing, I think you are wrong. I think they have been competing, even though they're second behind the great Pep Guardiola, and maybe against Liverpool, against an slot that was a very poor season from them, and they finished second. But the fact is, there's that consistency. Exactly. And I think that's what you want when you have a project. You want to be able to be consistent in good positions. So you can see the trajectory in the Champions League, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. Right? You can see the Premier League second, first. So I think that's what you want to do, because with the process, with a project, you can really be able to measure your success. So I think it has been a very, very successful project, really. And I think there's still more to come. So if they don't give up, really, there's still more to come.
So guys, I know we have a lot to talk about this game and many things. We only said the tactical angle of the game. But if you have any other thing to talk about, you can just put it in the comment section. And till we meet again, stay fixed to Vertical Football. Bye-bye.
Bye.